In this video, I will go through the Brandenburg Concerto number 4, episode 1. So that's bars 83 to 136. Okay, so find that in your sheet music so that you have your music, so that you can look with me at all the important things. Most important words here: monophonic texture, bass notes, semiquaver arpeggio, arpeggio figure, tutti, inverted pedal, 1-5-1 chords, the continue, okay, and then we have an F sharp 7 chord, that's important here, and a B7 chord. So let's find all these things in our music. In the previous video, we ended the first ritornello 1 section in bar 83, and we said that it overlaps there. We have a 5-1 perfect cadence there, and while that cadence played, the solo violinist will start. At the start, there's a monophonic texture. Monophonic texture, mono meaning one, so I have one voice playing with a solo violin accompanied by occasional bass notes. So you see, everybody is silent there. We have the solo violin that's quite active there, and we have the continue players with an occasional bass note. The semiquaver arpeggio played by the violin outlines the harmony. So that's an arpeggio figure that you see there. If I make it a little bit bigger, that pattern there, you see the notes G, G, D, B, G, D. And that shows me, or that hints to the first tonic chord. Then that F, natural, wants to move to C major, but that is not achieved. Then I have F, B, D, A, G, F. So that gives me the outline of the chord. So every bar that the violin plays, it outlines the harmony, although I have no other instrument playing apart from the occasional bass notes in the continue. I've already said that F natural there, it naturals hint that a modulation to C major may be imminent, but this is not achieved. It never goes to C major. Now the violin arpeggio figures are reminiscent of the ritornello theme. So go to your bar, back to your bar 1 to 6, and you will see the theme played there by the recorders. Okay, and the connection is underlined by tutti injections in bar 89. We can go to bar 89. So you see all of a sudden we have, apart from the violin, we have the recorder playing. We also have the rest of the orchestra also playing. We have that in bar 103. We see it there. And there it goes to D major. So find that in your music and note what we see there. And also in bar 111, we have those blocks of tutti interjections. Okay. They use material from bar 1 and 2 of the movement. So if I just scroll back, where I start there, I have the arpeggio. Okay. And that I find in my ritornello theme. I have the inverted pedal. That's a very good example there. That I also find in the first 2 bars. And I have the chords 1, 5, 1. Okay. And I've written there the material used is bar 1 to 2. I have the arpeggio figure. You will find that in your solo violin. You will find the inverted pedal played by the treble recorders, and I will have 1 to 5 to 1, whether it's in G major or D major. I find it in all those blocks. The violin continues to be accompanied only by the continuous. So after that, if I carry on after bar 111, I see that I have the same story. I have a monophonic texture, and I have the occasional bass note, two bar interjection. Okay, until bar 125, I have that interjection, and I have the violin playing there. Now in bar 125, I have the recorders enter, and they have the material of bar 35. So go back to the previous material and go to bar 35, and you will see and hear that same and they play in thirds. And I have the dominant of D major's pedal note, the A. I've marked the A there, that the rest of the orchestra will play. And in the violins, I've got that repeated pattern. Ta-tam, tam-pam, pam-pam, 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 pam-pam. Okay. And there I've marked an A sharp. After I move up a semitone to A sharp. You see A sharp there. The piano take over the recorder theme. On the next bar, all of a sudden you will see that they're quite busy there. And if you work out the notes there, you see F sharp, A sharp, C sharp, E. And that is, I've got that long pedal notes there, but the chord worked out there is F sharp, A sharp, C sharp, E, that the piano plays there. And then the recorders take over again at bar 133. And I have a B7 chord. So if I work out the B7, I've written it in there. B, B, A, D sharp, F sharp. So that's all the notes that you will find there. And that prepares me for going to my ritornello. That will be in E minor. Okay. So let's just recap here. It overlaps bar 83. I have the perfect cadence. That's the end of the ritornello. And then episode 1 will start. I have the violin playing arpeggio figures and semiquaver arpeggios. And that outlines the harmony. So you can work out the harmony. We have a hint, or the F naturals that you see there. That hints to C major, but that's not achieved. And the arpeggio figure I already had in the ritornello theme. And that's accompanied by occasional bass notes that I see there. The solo violin is very important here. And then I have interjections there. There I see the first block in bar 89. Okay. I see that everybody plays there. I have the 151. That was I found in the ritornello section, bar 126. I have the dominant pedal note, and I have the arpeggio figures. And then it goes back to monophonic, and I have the outlines there of the bass. The next interjection that I have is bar 103. Now the music is in D major. Okay. Just to recap, the material used here is the material of bar 1 to 2. I have the arpeggio figures, I have the inverted pedal and the flutes, and I have the material 1, or the harmony 1, 5, 1. And then the last block with the interjection is in bar 111. That's still in D major. Okay, and from there we have that monophonic texture again with the solo violinist and the continue players every second bar. That carries on until I reach bar 125, and now the recorders play material from bar 35 over a dominant pedal note in D major. I see the A's there. And then I have a semitone going up. You see the A sharp there. Here I see that the orchestra part, they're quite important. The piano, they take over the recorder theme. And I find the F sharp 7th chord there. Work out the notes F sharp, A sharp, C sharp, E. Then 133, the recorders take over again. And I have a B7 chord formed there. So that's the dominant, and that will lead to E minor, and that is where my ritornello 2 will start. So go through this and follow everything on your sheet music and listen to the music.